Welcome back to the Swansea View. Luke Williams said that was an atrocious footballing spectacle. To review that horrendous game at Middlesbrough and just to talk to the neutrals about there is no way Swansea are going down this season, we've got our resident Swan, Richard. How are you, Richard?
Less confident than I was last week.
Right. Well, we are recording this before the midweek game against Stoke, so we don't know how that has gone. But we are going to preview the Rotherham game. So by the time we meet next week, one of those will have gone well. You'll have got 3 more points on the board, and we can stop talking about relegation. But for one more week, I'm afraid we're going to talk about it. That's all right. And that comes from the Middlesbrough game. There weren't many there, but you were one of them. What was your view of it?
It's hard, when you take fans go away, travel hours all the way up there. It costs money, and to put out a performance like that was embarrassing. It's one of those things to kind of fight and lose against a good team, but both sides on the day were pretty rubbish. I got to say, we were worse. That was the kind of thing. Middlesbrough had a bit more of an edge. That striker they had, he scored twice, bit of a handful, but. Yeah, they weren't at their best, and I feel like we missed an opportunity just to get at least a point out of that match. We couldn't seem to string a couple of passes together at times. It was shambolic, really. I don't know where to start.
Yeah, the first goal in particular was just a comedy of errors, wasn't it? I mean, defensively under Luke Williams, you haven't looked that bad, but in recent games, something is not going right. What do you put? Can you put your finger on it?
Well, I think he kind of put himself under the bus a little bit by saying in the last week we haven't conceded any goals since Ipswich from the open play. And what do? You produce a showing like that. But I think defensively, we haven't been too bad at times, but there's a lot more pressure on your defence when you're not scoring goals. And since we've had a couple of injuries, I'd say the last few weeks as well, lost a lot of experience in the team as well, injured. I've got to say, like Alan Norton's been out as well. It's just, it's not right. I don't think the balance is right. Pachetta's out now as well on the left. And so it's a lot down to Ronaldo. And is it a case of just saying, are they on the beach? Do they think they're safe? Because they're not.
Yeah, and we want to talk to you about that because you're only 5 points from the drop now, but there is a cluster of teams between you. And do you think he's just looking to this Rotherham game or the Stoke game and saying, "Well, you win either of those, and we've got 50 points, and we're there"?
Well, I've been saying that last couple of weeks. I was saying one more win. That's all we need is one more win. Then you can focus on trying to get a couple of results before the end of the season and building for next year because the issue we got is there's so many players out of contract. They're not the contracts haven't been offered. There's a lot of loan players as well. So security, how are you supposed to get those players to sign new deals if they could be playing in League One? It's a big difference, a big jump. But it is a case of one win, and like I say, the result that's against Stoke on Wednesday is massive. And you come into that Rotherham game. Initially, I would have come in saying this week, going, right, there we are, 4 points from 6. Stoke's always a hard game, but it very much is a must-win that Wednesday, and then you go into that Rotherham game, which I'd expect to win, judging by the performances in recent weeks.
And Swansea are going to play a massive role in who goes down this season anyway, because we've already spoken to Huddersfield Town on this channel this week, and they are looking to that Swansea game. Millwall are also mentioning that Swansea game. So you really don't want to be heading into those games still looking for points, do you? Because all of a sudden then it becomes a potential 6-pointer you're playing rather than, well, you can just relax.
It feels like that at the moment, though. It feels every game is a 6-pointer, and as well, we've got to go away to Norwich, who right in the mix for the playoffs. So it's this, but those games against Huddersfield, and then certainly don't want it to go down to Millwall on that final day of the season. That'll be a nightmare. But yeah, no, I think if it actually goes that far, they probably do deserve to go down. I got to say, but the players haven't been playing well. But I think there is just about enough quality in there to stay up. I think it is. They've had a kick up the old backside this week now, and I think they'll produce a better showing now in the next couple of games. I hope so anyway.
Okay. All right, let's get your predictions then for Swansea versus Rotherham. We have got no Rotherham fan here because, of course, they're already down and are not turning up anymore to discuss games. Who can blame them? What are you going to go with?
I think it'll all judge on the Wednesday's game, but I think it was a tough match away from home we played, and they had a man sent off, and we ground out a victory where we had the caretaker manager in, and it was 2-1 on the day there, and I think it'll be a similar story on Saturday because I think it'll probably be a draw at Stoke against Stoke, and I think it'll be that nervy kind of get the points, get over the line kind of game.
Okay.
Let's hope we don't play Jerry Yates though.
Hey, I promised I wasn't going to mention Jerry Yates
again. I knew you were thinking it.
Let's get off his back for 1 week at least. So we've got no James here this week to destroy him. So yeah. All right. Thanks, Richard. Enjoy the game against Rotherham. I'm pretty certain when we sit here next week and chat to you, we'll just be talking about
in party time next week. We will
absolutely, party hats on. All right. Cheers, Richard. Thanks so much.
Nice one.